Hey, what is up, my fearless networking friend, Todd Falcone? What's happening? So I just got done going through a bunch of questionnaires from one of my coaching programs. So one of the things that I do is I never want to guess what I feel like someone needs. Okay, and I think that's something that's important even before I get into the lesson. Is we never want to make assumptions that we know what someone's struggling with or what they're looking for, or what they want, what's missing, for example. And so one of the things that I've always done in a couple of different ways, either through coaching programs that I run or just through a general like audience survey, right? To know personally what is it that you feel like you're struggling with, or what's your greatest fear. In fact, I ask. For example, like in my A team, so I run an accountability program that I've been doing since 2008, and I have this exercise that people fill out before they begin the program, and ask them, a variety of different questions. What company are you in? How long have you been in it? How many people have you personally recruited into that company? How big is your team? What's your short-term goal? What's your long-term goal? What do you feel like your greatest strengths are that you bring to the table? What do you feel like your greatest weakness is? And I actually asked the question in two different ways. I asked the question like, what do you feel like your greatest weakness is? What's the one thing that you feel that you need to work on? Actually, I asked it in three different ways. What do you feel like is the one thing that you need to work on the most that if you were to get that dialed in would completely change your business forever? And which is kind of a powerful question to ask somebody, just so they can kind of get thinking about what they feel, not what I think, but what they feel that their needs are. And then the other question is, what is your greatest fear, right? And there's always different answers from all of these questions, but I just got done going through like a couple hundred of these, and the thing that in this particular, it's not always the case, but in this particular group of survey questions that I asked, the fear of rejection was like their greatest fear, like the fear of being rejected. My greatest fear is being rejected. And it came up so many times that I was like, okay, I need to talk about that. Like, so how do you crush your fear of rejection? And I have kind of an interesting way of looking at it, or an interesting thought around rejection. And I think it's a matter of perception. Okay, I think it's how you perceive the response that somebody has. Right. Another way. This isn't necessarily fear of rejection, but another thing that a lot of people struggle with in network marketing is they're concerned with how people are going to respond to them. They're worried about. They're so caught up in their thoughts about being judged or how they're going to be perceived because they brought like a network marketing opportunity to someone, and so a lot of times what that does is it stops people from even taking any action because they're so worried about the response that they haven't even gotten yet, that they end up not even taking the action because they just don't want to. I guess it comes down to rejection. They just don't want to be. They don't want to be cast away or cast off or cast aside or no longer accepted. Or the fear of like losing a friend because you brought a network marketing business to somebody. And I think there's a lot of that has to do with belief issues. Like a lot of inactivity in network marketing has to do with beliefs, like a lack of belief. We have to have a belief in ourselves, of course, and that's the variable. That's the one thing that we can control is working on ourselves, like constantly working on our skill sets and our outlook and our viewpoint in terms of how we perceive ourselves and how we perceive ourselves in what we do in network marketing. But nobody wants to be rejected, right? Human beings have like this built-in feature where we want to be. Human beings want to be needed, wanted, valued, and appreciated. That's like built into every human being, right? And so when we're cast out, right? When you think about it, when you're you know in school and you're in high school or junior high school or elementary school, and there's the cool kids, and you want to be part of the cool kids, but maybe you're not that cool, or maybe you are cool, but they don't see you as cool, and so you're not part of the cool kids club, and it's a very it's a tough situation to be in. I mean, I wasn't a cool kid growing up. There were the cool kid, it's like, I don't know, when everybody grows up at different cities, but there's the jocks, and then there was the stoners, and then there was the cool, most popular people, and then there was the nerds or whatever, like different groups of people, right? And, you want to be part of this group, but then you're not accepted and part of that group, and that's emotional, that's hard, right? And so I think what happens is a lot of times we take, prior life experiences and we bring it into network marketing. So if, like, for example, if somebody says no to you, no, I'm not interested in your business. No, I'm not interested in looking at your product. No, I'm not interested in buying your product. And what we do is we internalize that and we take it as rejection. And so I have like a different way of personally of viewing rejection as it pertains to network marketing. And I think it's a matter of how you look at it, how you look at that experience. So, for example, and I've used this a few times, in prior training. So, like if someone is driving down the road, right? You're in your car driving down the road, and some dude comes over and cuts you off, and pulls in right in front of you, or there's like some little gap and barely enough room for a car. But they're super aggressive, and they basically just cut you off, and you're like, whoa, and it's like they could barely. You guys know what I'm talking about. We've all had those aggressive driver experiences where somebody like comes in and like, hey, wait a second, and one person would be like, oh, okay, cool, all right, well, obviously you're really in a rush, and maybe I pull off the accelerator a little bit, create a little space between me and the psycho person that obviously is. I don't know what's going on with them, and I don't know them. There's just some dude that just decided to cut me off, and I could kind of back off from the experience and not let it ruin my day, right? And I'm just cruising along, and I, 2 minutes later, I forgot about it. Once that car's out of my sight, I'm like just driving down the road and like whatever. I don't, out of sight, out of mind, right? And then there's other person, and I know I've been this person a couple times where somebody has, cut me off, and I get angry, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm all of a sudden I'm on the gas, and I'm like, which never is good. I mean, that's never a good experience when you end up chasing the person down. I mean, you don't know anything about that person. You don't know if they got a gun in their car, if they are absolutely psychotic, crazy person, and now you're like feeding the crazy person and their anger, and like you let that person make you all angry. Now your blood pressure's increasing. Now you're tripping out, and now that they're getting even more angry, and we don't know what's going to end up happening. You might turn into road rage and chasing somebody down. Like who knows? You got to be careful out there. I mean, the people on the roadways can be interesting. So what I think is. What's interesting is it's exactly the same situation, but two ways of responding to it, right? One person chills out and they kind of back off on the accelerator and they like create some space, and then the other person's like gets all uptight, and oftentimes you think about this, like all of us have probably been in a situation where we've been cut off in a car, and I think this is a great example of how we view rejection. So one person just kind of goes, okay, whatever, go ahead, man, you're obviously in a rush. And then the other person, gets all bent out of shape, their blood pressure increases, they start yelling, they're flipping the person off, they're tripping out, they're chasing them down, they're looking at them with and now your whole day is ruined, right? Like your attitude completely shifted. You come home, you're yelling at your kids, or you're mad at your friend, and it's just, it was this person that cut you off. But it's the same exact experience. One person chills out and it's like, hey, go for it. And the other person gets all angry. Same situation, different way of responding to the situation. So for example, like for me, when I look at like somebody who says no to me in network marketing, I honestly don't perceive it as rejection. I don't personally believe that rejection when it comes to prospecting and recruiting even exists, okay? I don't ever feel like if you say no to me, I'm not interested in looking at your deal. I would never touch network marketing with a 10-foot pole. Whatever the response is, I never let it penetrate me. I never let it affect the rest of my day. Now, I've had negative prospects. I've probably had more negative prospects than most people ever had because I've prospected so much. But I don't take that as rejection, like you're rejecting me. Even if it's like a good friend. I remember one time, I can clearly remember, I brought a business to a friend of mine, and this is the only time out of all the prospecting I've ever done. He's like, what did he say to me? I don't know exactly what he said, but he's like, I can't believe you'd use me to make money or something like that. Like, which is kind of like that's a good poke. Like, I can't believe you would use me to make money. And I could have let it ruin my whole day and totally taking it personally. I was just like, well, obviously this isn't, and I mean, it hurt when it hit, but it didn't hurt so much where it's like, what's wrong with me? Now I'm going to be out for the rest of the day. Maybe network marketing's not for me. It hurt when it hit for a second, but then it bounced off. And then like another quick example, I got this buddy of mine who's made millions of dollars in network marketing, millions. And he was really successful in real estate, like super successful. And he had a real estate partner. These guys did all these big deals together. And so when he started network marketing, like think about this, like this guy, the first prospect is his business partner. These guys were buddies, made millions of dollars together on real estate deals. And he sits down with them, and I remember him telling me the story because I interviewed him. And then I sit down and I started talking to him about network marketing, and the guy like literally goes, "Are you kidding me? You've stooped so low. Are you for real? You've stooped so low that you're doing network marketing?" What is wrong with you, right? Like he laid into him. And can you imagine, like this is like his first prospect, high level guy, and just lays into him. And what did he do? Like, did he quit network marketing that day? Some people would. Some people would be just, oh my gosh, I can't handle it. I can't handle the rejection. And this sometimes you get poked, but it's how you respond to the situation that makes a difference. He didn't take it as being rejected by the guy. Honestly, he's like, I felt like the guy was stupid, like that he's not even smart enough to recognize the value of leveraged income through network marketing. And that guy never joined, but he went on to make millions of dollars in network marketing. And the guy never joined him, ever. And so, again, my whole point here is how do you crush rejection? How do you completely crush rejection and get it out of your life when it comes to prospecting and network marketing? You just go, you know what? Rejection does not exist. And another way of looking at it, if somebody says no to you, they might verbalize it and say, no, I'm not interested. No, I don't want to look. But really, they're really saying no to themselves. So if you look at it that way, if the person says no to you, they might verbalize no to you. But what they're really doing is they're just saying no to themselves. And so, yeah, there might be objections people have or concerns that people have, but and they need to get those questions answered. They need to have clarity because they don't understand it. And that's all fine and good. I love having objections or concerns. That to me is somebody who's interested, but they just need to, get whatever concerns out of the way so they can decide for themselves whether they want to proceed forward or not. But when you say no to me, and look, here's the thing you guys have to understand, and most of you probably know this already. You're going to get more no's than you're going to get yeses. You're going to get more people that say no to you than you'll ever get yeses. You're going to get more people that sign up and don't act, more people that you present to that don't sign up than you're ever going to get people who act or who sign up with you. So we got to get used to the fact that people are going to say no to us. It's just a matter of you deciding how you're going to respond to the person cutting you off on the roadway. Are you going to just chill out and just say, okay, that person I don't know, they might be having a bad day. They might be in a rush. Who knows what? They're obviously in a rush. Who knows what's up with them? But I'm not going to take it personal. It's what they have going on. And not like, it's the same thing with like attitudes. Like attitudes are contagious. So if you're having the most awesome day of your life and you're like super happy and most productive, and then all of a sudden, you know, something happens, a friend of yours or your spouse or something, they're having a bad day and they yell at you for who knows what reason, you didn't even do anything, or something happens, and all of a sudden you allow that attitude that was, you know, pushed upon you to penetrate your soul, and now all of a sudden you're in a bad mood. You're having the greatest day of your life and you're in a bad mood because somebody else was having a bad day. Does that make any sense to you at all? So how you crush rejection is you make the decision here and now today that I'm never going to take it personally. No matter if it was a soft no, a hard no, a piercing no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's like, okay, it's not the right time or they're not interested, but I'm not going to take their no and internalize it and mess with me and realize like, oh my gosh, I must not be part of the cool kids club. And the last thing I'm going to say is this, honestly, and like people are worried about this. A lot of people are concerned about this. Like, I'm worried about losing a friend because I brought a network marketing business to them and they're no longer going to be my friend anymore. Well, guess what? If you bring a network marketing product or service or business to somebody and they're no longer your friend because you brought something cool to them, were they really your friend in the first place? I don't think they were. Because a true friend, they don't have to sign up with you. You don't have to look at your presentation. They don't have to join you. They don't have to buy from you. But a real friend would be like, hey bro, like get after it, man. I'll high five you at the finish line. I'll cheer you on all day long, all the way through. It's just not my thing. I'm not interested. That's what a real friend is. So I don't think we need to be concerned about losing friends because of a network marketing business that we're involved in, or being rejected. We're not asking people out on dates here. We're not going, hey, you want to go out with me? I mean, if you go ask somebody out and they're like, hey, you want to go out with me? And you're like, no, your breath stinks, your teeth are crooked, you're ugly, you smell, you got BO, you got dirt underneath your fingernails, you don't know how to dress. Oh my gosh, did I already say you're ugly? I don't want to go out with you. That might be rejection there, okay? But in network marketing, we're just saying, hey, you want to take a peek at what I'm doing? I'm having a blast doing this business, so I'd love for you to take a look at what I'm doing in my business. And can you if I sent you a video, would you take a peek at it? No, I don't want to look at it. I'm not interested in anything. And then we take that as rejection. That is a personal decision that we make. I made a decision a long time ago. I'm not taking a no. I'm not taking it personal. I'll take no's, but I'm not going to take it personal. It's like water off of a duck's back. That's how we crush rejection, you guys. And it's not hard to do. It's simply a matter of decision. So make the decision not to take it personally. YouTubers, what's up? Appreciate you guys. You guys are on my podcast, listen to me on audio. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. You want to come over, see the rest of the details on this episode and other stuff that'll help you make money in network marketing? Come on over to toddfalcone.com/episode 166. That's this episode you're watching right now or listening to. toddfalcone.com/episode 166. Have an epic day. We'll see you next time.